All right, here. Hopefully you've had a great day, and you remembered yesterday what was going on. The current discussion going on right now is supposedly tomorrow is September 14th, and the company is going to go in and present the update that's coming in. So this is going to be a really good thing to be watching to to see here more on the stream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Besta in, and um, hopefully the audio and the video is working here for tomorrow. Sometimes when you see days, you don't know when something's gonna be at a certain date and whatnot. So right now what I'm working on here is looking into the UESO app, and this has kind of been a problem with some of the Elder Scrolls apps, in where we show the issue of the loading bar issue of what I'm gonna do here is I'm slowly taking the loading bar mechanism off of the app. The individual app that we're looking at right now is the UESO app, as it shows a pending mark and where it's showing verified by Play Protect. This is kind of a concern where this is slowing down our computers, or it goes and it stamps the information to where it goes back into an original page that you when you're looking in to go into your certain app. Most people don't even see that this is happening. Like that, this is kind of like invisible. And so what this right here, for some of you guys that on your systems, this will be helpful to understand. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going slowly in to where I'm not going to stop every one of the loading bars that look like are possibly giving our systems some problems, or what's called issues. So we don't want to have any issue. We don't want to have issues. We want to have fun, and we want to see the system work and grow. And later on, I'm going to be looking at the ModCon conference that just recently went on, and so there's some things that were being looked at here earlier, and there was new information that wasn't there before, but then the past information is back in there. So that's something that we're looking at also. So right now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the loading bar off, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. This is not seen just yet as a permanent fix, but this is gearing for us towards getting a permanent fix. So what I'm going to do here right now is go clicking on the UESO app, and I'm going to stop the loading bar issue. And for some odd reason, I don't know why this came in. It was possibly like for some sort of update, but this was not this was not known. So what we have to do is we have to go into the system, and we have to work the system. This individual app has already been installed, and for some odd reason, some apps were showing the loading bar issue, some weren't showing the loading bar issue. So this kind of resolves the issue slowly. And so what I'm going to do right now is just by pressing the cancel button. It's a lot more complex than you guys will know. And so if you're on a system to where you see on Google Play to where you see this loading bar issue where it just keeps on going and keeps on going, it kind of is a little alert for you guys. That it was an alert to me, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I was going to have to uninstall the app or install the app. But specifically dealing with Elder Scrolls, you want to know how these things work, because these things need paid. And so what I'm going to do here, right, for those of you that are diehard Elder Scrolls people, and this is going to be good. So what looks like this is the people that have brought out the UESO app is Nexu Industries Australia. So this is going to help Australia out. We don't know what server Australia is actually using. So this is basically all Australia has when looking into the different servers within Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls has two main servers called the NA server and the EU server. Looks like Australia, this is their server that's being used. So this is some good information to learn from. So with Australia, they'll have to make up some sort of 2-letter word code for being in Elder Scrolls. Because what this looks like is this is the only in for Australia for the type of server. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press the cancel button. As you guys can see that the loading bar is no longer in there. There has been many loading bars that were in there that was just spinning, and it was kind of like, what is going on with this? So this is slowly resolving the problem that was being introduced. I'm not sure what that was, but that's some sort of small minor virus and going throughout Google Play. So got that taken care of. And so what we're going to want to do is we're gonna want to look into the other things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going back, and there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go off the screen, and I'm going to leave this on here. And this is some good stuff. I'm not going to go into the actual app. This stopped the loading bar issue that we were seeing before. So this is a slow process to alleviate the issue that we were having.
They must find something, anything, to hold on to, and then give their lives in service to it. The Empire depends on it.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat, to the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
My gods are strong and true, but even the might of the blades cannot stand against the power that rises to destroy us. Take my amulet, give it to Joffrey, find the last of my blood, and close shut the marble jaws of oblivion. I have failed. We are divided. In the end, I could not unite us. Our ancient enemy has returned to reclaim the lands that we took from them thousands of years ago. And this time, the people will have to protect themselves. They must find something, anything, to hold on to, and then give their lives in service to it. The Empire depends on it.
Hello and welcome to Creation ModCon 2023. We thank you for joining us in our third annual event in what will be our biggest ModCon to date. We have more mod teams than ever joining us this year, and we even have more MCs added to our roster, including the two I'm about to introduce to you all. First of all, we have the awesome Antipodean Arbiter of Alliteration, Scott from Fudge Muppet.
Thanks, Captain Stu, for that warm...
Ruhiva Kronul Tsilnechma. Hey everyone, and welcome to the 2023 ModCon showcase for Beyond Skyrim Argonia. I'm Aaron Maloney.
Hello and welcome to Creation ModCon 2023. We thank you for joining us in our third annual event in what will be our biggest ModCon to date. We have more mod teams than ever joining us this year, and we even have more MCs added to our roster, including the two I'm about to introduce to you all. First of all, we have the awesome Antipodean Arbiter of Alliteration, Scott from Fudge Muppet.
Thanks, Captain Stu, for that warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here for Creation ModCon 2023. I'm sure it will be an amazing assembly of accomplished artisans.
I'm sure it will be. Thanks, Scott. And our other super special MC is my favourite Irish Skyrim YouTuber with the last name D, the king of chaotic crack. It's Mickey D.
That's right, folks, it's me, Mickey D, from the YouTube. Thanks for calling me Chaotic Crack. I like that name a lot. It's a right honour and a pleasure to be joining you all as an EMCEE for this year's ModCon.
Thanks, Mickey. Well, now that that's out the way with, why don't we have a look at what we've planned today? Scott?
Absolutely. So we begin Creation ModCon 2023 with a sojourn south of the continent to join the scale-skinned socialites of Beyond Skyrim Argonia.
And after our excursion into Blackmarsh, we joined the fellas at the Legacy of the Dragonborn to see what this Odyssey of the Dragonborn malarkey is all about.
Following that, if you go down to the woods today, you're probably in Valenwood, which conveniently is where the Beyond Skyrim team will take us promptly.
Then it's a bout of extra-dimensional spelunking through the plains of Oblivion with the Apotheosis team.
That leads us finally and felinely into Beyond Skyrim Elsewhere and all things Punch Cat related.
Then we are left-handedly heading west to the mysterious islands of Sistrus.
And then we pull up you in the seat of the Empire as we join Beyond Skyrim once more with their Cyrodiil project.
And then we end day 1 of Creation ModCon 2023 with a very exciting update from the Skywind team, followed by a day 1 Q&A session, so don't miss out on that. Oh, my Irish heart is really excited about this.
So with all that being said,
welcome to day 1 of Creation ModCon 2023. You got the Irish lad to say 3 and everything, cheers.
Ruhiva Cronul Tsilnech Ma. Hey everyone, and welcome to the 2023 ModCon showcase for Beyond Skyrim Argonia. I'm Aaron Maloney, the audio lead and one of the writing leads, also known as the True High King of Blackmarsh, and I'm going to be talking to you about the great progress Argonia has made recently. All departments have been hard at work creating the homeland of the Argonians, from building the ruins of the land's ancient peoples to giving life to its modern inhabitants. Today we're going to give you an insight into how all of that comes together, going into detail of each department's progress. A disclaimer, the music used in this showcase video is a representation of what the music of Argonia will sound like and is not the official version. We will be focusing on the Dorza Highlands, an area of northwestern Argonia, starting off with a glimpse into one of the region's Nedic ruins. Let's dive in. Like other remnants of ancient cultures scattered around Argonia, Nedic ruins like this one attract the attention of the Turnian Antiquarian Society. The members of this society are just a few of the more than 150 NPCs that our writing department has completed in the last year. These NPCs include citizens of the Turnian League, an alliance of former imperial colonies, as well as several traditional Argonian villages, all representing the majority of those needed for our current writing phase. Our focus has since turned to writing quests and world encounters. Dozens of quests have already been finished, and just ahead is one of our recently completed world encounters. For this demonstration, we are using a temporary computer-generated voice, which, before release, will be replaced with real voice acting.
Please, help! Don't leave me here. I was traveling the marshes, thought if I stayed on the roads nothing would happen to me, and now I can't carry on. I think it might be swamp rot. Please, can you help me? You would just give a potion away? I was starting to lose hope. Thank you, I feel much better now. Your appearance was a miracle. I could have died out here if it wasn't for you.
All of the clothes our NPCs wear, as well as armour, are concepted first by our 2D department before moving on to be 3D modelled. Some examples of these are the Turnian outfits, the Sarpa armour, the Chitin armour, the Rormasu armour, and much more. Our artists have also created designs for the architecture and weapons found in the region. You'll see the final versions of many of these designs throughout the video. For creatures, our artists have taken inspiration from many sources, including new creatures introduced of Argonia in Elder Scrolls. Concept artwork usually begins with multiple variations, and as a team, we vote on which design we like the best. Then, colour variations are decided upon. Once the team is happy with the piece, it is sent to the 3D team so they can model and texture it. Then, finally, it is sent to implementation so we can harass travelers like us. Argonia is populated by dozens of new creatures. Some, like this one, utilize existing animation sets available from Skyrim, but for a variety. Our animators and implementers have also added new animation sets to the game. While this is useful for expanding the diversity of creatures the player can encounter, it has also allowed us to add a greater spark of life to the daily routines of our NPCs, especially to those living in traditional village settings. The basic animations seen here have been made available to other Beyond Skyrim teams as well, so you may see them in other parts of Tamriel using tools local to their area.
Need something.
As you've probably heard throughout the video, we've recently been working on sound effects that our creatures make. So far, multiple creatures such as the marsh harpy and the giant snail have been fully voiced, with more on the horizon. These sound effects have been produced to align perfectly to the various animations you see the creatures perform. Up ahead is one of our new histories. If you're familiar with the lore of Argonia, you'll know that the histories are central to Argonian culture and have considerable influence over their biology. These iconic trees are unique to the region, and they are one of the many ways we aim to make Argonia feel strikingly different from the Skyrim we're all familiar with. For our Barsabic Ayleid ruins, our 3D team has made a new tileset inspired by the Heartland Ayleid tileset used by the Cyrodiil team. This has allowed us to utilise a larger suite of exterior assets with new textures appropriate for the humid environment of Argonia. When it comes to 3D assets, Argonia makes use of as little assets from Skyrim as possible. Hardly any of the items found in the frigid tundra and mountains of northern Tamriel would be appropriate in these southern swamps and forests. Our 3D team has already created approximately 7,500 new 3D assets for the game, with many more still to be done. Those assets are a variety of new weapons, such as the restored Cuthringi mace we've been using so far. We've also been experimenting with including new types of weaponry, notably spears, which have been popular with most cultures in Argonia, ancient and modern. For the spear animations, we've received permission to incorporate elements from the animated armory mod by Nick and Neck. Barsabic weapons aren't the only thing you'll be able to acquire from exploring their ruins. This is our Barsabic armor set. If you're interested in trying it out for yourself, you can find it as a standalone mod on the Nexus by Shinglescat, one of our 3D artists. Shinglescat has also been hard at work outside of our 3D department. She's been busy creating new custom weathers for Argonia, including the misty drizzle we've been walking through here in the Highlands. Development of our weathers has been greatly enhanced by creation of a new weather tool, our implementers, which weathers to be created in-game. The plants and creatures of Argonia provide a plethora of new ingredients. Our 3D artists have created numerous assets to ensure a diverse collection of alchemical components, from familiar items such as flowers and moth wings to more unusual items like tongues and oils. In Argonia, you'll be able to discover new alchemical effects not found in Skyrim, and some other effects may be harder to come by. Finding suitable ingredients to create a cure for a disease will likely require a trek to the opposite ends of Argonia, or a confrontation with a dangerous predator. Of course, all these new plants and creatures require a proper place to call home. That's where our level designers come in. Approximately 2/3 of Argonia's biome already received an initial level design pass. Unfortunately, Argonia is not a place where one can simply enjoy a stroll through nature. Banditry is a constant threat in Western Argonia, where tribal authority is weakest and the reach of the Turnian League is limited. Travelers must be wary when approaching camps like the one ahead. While the bandits here are currently using the same generic lines from Skyrim, in time these will all be replaced by lines more appropriate for Argonia. For some NPCs, this will include full and partial lines of Gel, the native language of the Argonians. Although official Elder Scrolls sources provide very limited samples of this language, our writing team has used those as a basis to greatly expand the vocabulary and grammar, so our NPCs will be able to fluently speak their mother tongue. It seems these bandits have been up to some poaching and illegal animal trading. Let's head into the mine and see what else we might discover. We hope you've enjoyed getting a glimpse into some of the progress our team has made recently. If you have any interest in joining our team and help bring Argonia to life, we are acceptations for all departments, but are in need of some areas more than others. We are always recruiting skilled writers, concept artists and animators. Our 3D team is also searching for more artists who can model clothes, creatures and architecture. For our audio department, we are looking for passionate composers and sound designers for creatures in atmospheric soundscapes. To apply to Argonia, or any of the other Beyond Skyrim picks, please visit beyondskyrim.org. Thank you for watching our showcase. We hope you enjoy the rest of Creation ModCon 2023.
Thanks to the Beyond Skyrim Argonia team for helping us start Creation ModCon 2023 the right way. I'm Trendane, and I'm back for my third ModCon. Who would have thought it? I wish that I could put all of my wonderful memories of the last 3 years in a museum for my amusement.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott from Fudge Muppet, and this may only be my first ModCon as an MC, but I can appreciate what an odyssey the last 3 years have been for you, Trendane.
So how's it going? Mickey D here, and talking about odysseys, let's catch up with the team from Legacy of the Dragonborn to see what curios they have been digging up.
One might think that with the destruction of Alduin that the world was saved. But it is the sole purpose of the World Eater, in fact, to save the world from itself. And since Alduin was denied the consumption of this Kalpa so that it can begin anew, this Kalpa continues, and the wheel continues to turn upon the last Dragonborn, as the prophecy foretold. From Ice Cream Assassin and the team that brought you the Legacy of the Dragonborn comes a new, expansive adventure which takes you to the far reaches of Tamriel and beyond. Odyssey of the Dragonborn is an 8-part mod series which tells the story we had all hoped would be told after the defeat of Alduin. A story about the battle for the heart of Tamriel and the Mundus at large. The battle against the Thalmor. Centered initially in the Isles of Balfiria, where the Tower Adamantia stands tall, Odyssey will take the player to far-off provinces such as Blackmarsh, Elsewhere, Hammerfell, and others. Our design philosophy has been to focus on developing a rich story and environment within a smaller space. Instead of designing entire provinces and struggling to fill it with adequate content, each act we will develop an area roughly the size of a Skyrim hold or two worth of territory, and populate it thoroughly with rich characters and immersive environmental storytelling elements. The majority of our quests seek to provide not only a sense of illusion of choice by the player, but actual choice, with multiple paths and outcomes for many quests, and some quests which will ultimately affect the outcome of future events, and the state of the world at large, depending on how you undertake the quests. Being a DLC-size quest add-on following the story of Legacy of the Dragonborn, and even though it's primarily focused on story events, Odyssey will of course be no stranger to new items to discover and collect in an effort to continue filling your museum with the spoils of your adventure. New artifacts, weapons and armor sets, and archaeological discoveries abound in every act of Odyssey, and a new gallery, the Hall of Legends, will be their home at the museum. Our dear friend and curator of the museum in Solitude, Aryan, has a long and complicated history which unfolds throughout the acts of Odyssey, and he will serve as a fitting companion for the player through much of the series as you come to learn of his past, and maybe his secrets. The Intrepid Explorers Society is prepped and ready to embark with you on this grand adventure as they branch out into other places and recruit new members with their own stories, quirks, and abilities.
I may be allergic. Wait, Egelman? Egelman? Oh, don't scare me like that!
Beyond great environments, diverse and interesting characters, quests with real choices and consequences, and all the great new items and archaeology and exploration elements we are adding, Odyssey will also feature an optional add-on for jump-starting your adventure, a late-game character creator. This add-on for Alternate Start Live Another Life will allow players to create a level 50 character with all the perks, abilities, and accomplishments that come with it. From selecting completed quest arcs, equipment, spell selections, and pools of resources, your character will be set with all story prerequisites completed so you can embark on your Odyssey immediately. Choose your path and have all associated rewards and titles in place and on display at the museum so that you can look forward to adventure right from the start. Our teams have worked tirelessly for years, through pandemics and real-life crises, work and family demands, and more to continue to drive this project forward. And it hasn't been easy at times, but with every small push and every bit of progress forward, we remain ever motivated to see this through to its eventual release.
Howdy everyone, UCM from Skywind here, and I'm back for another year of Creation ModCon goodness. Thanks to the Legacy of the Dragonborn team for that highly anticipated update. It looks amazing.
It most certainly does. Hi everyone, I'm Arcane Impact from Beyond Skyrim, and I'm so happy to be emceeing my first Creation ModCon. It's been pretty wild so far.
And the wildness continues with our next stop, courtesy of the Beyond Skyrim team, in the magical and ancient wilds of Valenwood.
We're currently working on. With regards to the foliage pipeline, we are currently... Welcome back to Valenwood as we return for our second ModCon. This year, we are proud to show that we started with high quality foliage production, and our concept art team has created detailed and inspirational image references for region specific foliage. In addition to this, our 3D foliage artist is currently establishing a pipeline for vegetation creation, featuring open source and free software such as Blender and Treat, as well as utilizing industry standard tools such as Substance Designer and SpeedTree. For texture creation, we pay close attention to real-life references. Together with the created concepts, we are aiming to achieve a high level of realism combined with fantasy elements the Elder Scrolls universe is known for. Now let's take a deep dive into what we are currently working on. With regards to the foliage pipeline, we are currently using Substance Designer, which enables us to create a wide range of leaves and plant textures, which gives us maximum control with how we generate them, as you can see. After setting up all parameters accordingly, the leaves can be modified in the procedural way, which allows us to create precisely what we are looking for. The software packages Treat, Blender, as well as SpeedTree are used to create the plant models. The process is tailored so someone with limited knowledge about Substance Designer is still capable of creating fully customizable textures without the use of other more expensive software. Here you can see a test plant which has been created to verify the foliage pipeline and to identify any blockers or errors we might encounter. Our goal, as mentioned, is pushing the quality bar of what is possible. These examples are only test models and mark just the beginning of what is going to be designed. This will eventually allow us to create all the amazing plants which have been conceptualized, and allows us to achieve our goal of creating dense and natural looking biomes and forests Valenwood is known for. Here is an example of the software Treeit, which is similar software to SpeedTree. With Treeit, we can render and visualize the trees that we create along with most other plants. As you can see demonstrated here, this is an example of a plant that we've been working on, which is a teak tree. The model created is highly detailed, and already you can see wind animations and can rotate light around it. This program works in a procedural way, so whenever you want to increase the dimensions of the trunk, the project adapts and adjusts. You can see how easily we can change the aesthetic of the tree, and from here we can make some adjustments by hand in Blender. From a single leaf to an entire branch cluster, or even taking them out completely and moving them around, bending them to our personal preference. This leaves us with the desired result, and once again a complete preview of what we can expect once transferred to the Creation Kit engine. With our next prepared example, we once again go to Blender and more vegetation that we can play around with. Here we have a humble banana plant that we are using as a test asset. We can use this to help develop our foliage pipeline and verify what adjustments are needed. Usually, we aim to create at least 3 different versions, such as large, medium, or small, and sometimes even more if needed. This helps our environment artists to find a home for these assets much more easily and create the desired biomes. This system is incredibly versatile and allows us to move plants around or create another one and move it here and there or slightly rotate it. Then we can use a small one, like so, and as you can see, we can already play around with it and create a clustering effect with these plants, and easily create entire biomes with them. This demonstrates the full control we have as we develop the verdant terrain of Valenwood right down to the smallest leaf, like this one. We can easily bend it around with what's known as soft selection, so that when we select certain areas of it, we can lower, raise, and bend it around with ease. Having this level of control is incredibly powerful. Next, we look at our texture atlas, and so far with our friend the banana plant, we are trying to put as much detail as possible, whilst creating as many different leaves as we can so the finished article looks as natural as possible. But this is only the start. In the end, we will probably have between 8 and 12 different leaves to work from, and this allows us to assemble a realistic model. And when we take a look at the references that have been collected by taking real-life photos in high quality, we can build our textures to be as realistic as possible. Another plant that we are currently working on, a palm tree, is a more complex creation which uses a partially different pipeline. Here you can see the plant and the spline and how it works within this app. Again, we can move it down, rotate it, once again demonstrating our full control over the asset. Then, in Substance Painter, we can bake our texture maps and add some edge highlights, such as some moss growing in the crevices. Using this method allows us to build realistic, high-fidelity assets. Despite this being a work in progress, you can clearly see the potential. The most important thing to us is that the plants look as organic as possible, and to achieve a natural look and feel of a plant that looks less like an artificial creation. It is of the utmost importance to understand how a plant grows and how the realistic mechanics of nature come to pass. Here you can see we've introduced some decaying leaves, but they are not just hanging straight down, they are folding around the branch in a natural way. In terms of the texture atlas that we've created, it also helps a lot to push realism when adding decay. You can see some leaves are cut off, some leaves are split with deep cuts, and even the greener leaves have slight colour differences to make it as natural looking as possible. We have built this natural world production pipeline to ease the work demands of creating a region of Tamriel that is like no other, but there is still much work to do to bring Valenwood's biomes to life. If you are a 3D artist, an implementer, or concept artist specializing in environmental art, we would love to hear from you as your skills will help bring our vision to fruition. But before we let you go, it would be remiss if we left you thinking that we had only been focusing on Valenwood's verdant surroundings. Though landscaping is of a high priority, we also have been busy doing other important tasks. Last year, we revealed part of our armor sets to much celebration and excitement to all of you in the Skyrim modding community. And in the last year, our 3D team has completed a number of weapon sets that we are excited to share with you now. First of all, we have the amazing and fearsome looking Triton sets, which truly captured Valenwood's natural and organic heritage in a fearsome and formidable fashion. Desirable in design and devastating in use, they are sure to create fear in any soul foolish to approach you with menace in mind. And alongside those are the otherworldly insect resin weapon sets, unlike anything else in Tamriel. These almost alien devices of pain will weaken the knees of any opponent who dares to take up arms against you in combat. Everyone here at the Valenwood team are very proud to bring you both these weapon sets, and we thank you for taking the time to watch this year's presentation. Enjoy the rest of Creation ModCon 2023.
The Mask of Sparrow Valley. Written by Kana. Read by Renara Hawk. It was a ball without equal. Coated in gold and moonstone, diamonds encrusting the edges of every glass and every platter. Lords and ladies gathered there in secret, hidden by the shroud of costumed extravagance, brought together under a singular goal, to learn as much about the other guests as possible. A deal of lies and buried truths, trading blows beneath upturned lips and flowery words. Such an event was made possible only by the whims of the mask. The Mask of Sparrow Valley proved an enigma. Some spoke of a battered, war-weary soldier in blue. Others met a snide, posturing butler in red. Different people, different places, but the same mask. Moulded from metal of an unknown source and carved with the face of a proper gentleman. Completed by a swirled mustache, turned down nose, and heavy-set eyes. Yet the most striking feature would have to be the horns. Unnatural, vile, and somehow fitting. The devil's in the details. The mask hosted at least 4 events over the course of a year. By winter's end, the invitations stopped. Caravans followed their normal routes through the valley, and whispers began to spread about the emptiness felt throughout the region. That an eerie quiet had fallen heavy over buildings that once teemed with life, now showing decay beyond repair. The world continued on, as it once had, eventually losing all reason to care about the valley and its elaborate parties. But one question remains for those with the thought to ask. Where went the Mask of Sparrow Valley? Why, it went where all Daedric relics go. Home. A deal goes both ways. And so, the Mask of Sparrow Valley, once again, became the Mask of Clavicus Vile.
Hi folks, it's Kyrus, back again with the immutable Castu, and Creation ModCon 2023 rambles on from the savage islands of Valenwood to the transmundane plains of Oblivion.
Eldritch horrors await those brave enough to step into the void, defying the odds to address the heart of the matter.
Join us across 17 dimensions of lunacy and torment with the team behind Apotheosis.
Reawaken. Noble Izmir, Dragon of the North. Ride forth and reclaim the pieces of Lorcan's heart. Or is it thine fate to become a memory? Faded and scattered to the winds of time. O ye failed scarab, armored head to toe in gold. Such failure ye hast wrought, ye who could only muster but a retelling once told, who couldst not alloweth end, for ye loved too much, and thine love was thine undoing. Ride below over a shattered corpse, at the far end of time, her flesh torn asunder, a fragmented brute within the mind of God. O ye noble monarch, they will deceive thee. They will lead thee astray. They will hunt thee down. But thy will shall never falter. Arise, last of thine kind. By my breath, I shall guide thee.
Thanks to the Apotheosis team for a fantastic voyage into insanity. Mickey D back with Trendane and Scott once again. And our next port of call on our voyage lies west of the Opal Sea.
It is skooma galore for us all. As we embark into the fertile lands under the light of the mystic moons with my fellow Beyond Skyrim teammates.
Because this isn't anywhere, it's beyond Skyrim's elsewhere.
Tell this one, Verana, where do you come from? You do not strike Mazarko as someone who would willingly move into an Equina from Cyrodiil, especially an Imperial.
It's that obvious? I better not act then. Yes, I come from Valleyguard. I want to leave the Rim behind me.
Valleyguard, you say? Mazarko is aware of whom it belongs to. The Rim, the slavers, the cruel torturers of my kin. Kivalids.
You must think of me suspiciously, and that is your right, Khajiit. Yet, not all in the Rim stand, well, stood, or cheered on the slaving bastards throwing poor folk in mines, plantations, or no households.
Mean stood.
There were folk once who would help the slaves escape. But most of them are gone now. Killed, enslaved, or in hiding. Zenithar's Hammer, they were called. Not that it matters now.
This one has heard of them, Sirod. Fine. But Mazargo wants to know, how is Valleyguard inside of its great walls?
I no longer consider myself Sirod, Khajiit. As for your odd question, why would you care? We're far away from that damned fortress. No point in forcing my memories back there.
Mazargo served in the Nomadic League for a long time. He fought on the steps near the town. This one simply wants to know what was behind these walls. Call it curiosity.
Well, it depends. The town itself is pretty vast. The Tagais,
Tagais?
The rulers of the town. In any case, they always wanted to urbanize it, thanks to the constant trade through the air from the southern holdings, the mine and the herders. The city deemed it important to invest into the town to help with the Tagai's goal. Not to mention it being the only suitable pass for a sizable force to march through.
Mazargo is surprised how much you know. You mentioned trade. Who would even run trade with the Riminese?
They have a small town further south. But the trade is run by Bandari. Sleazy merchants, always trying to weasel the best price out of you.
Bandari? Those folk are criminals. Mazargo is not surprised that the slavers work with fugitives. But where gold is being mined, there are usually ones who leech off it.
Gold mine? No, that one isn't in Valleyguard. What the slaves from it were carrying was nothing akin to it. Darker in color, not as yellow. Hard to spot most of the time, though, because the slaves are separated by a smaller wall from the rest of the town.
Ha! So they fear them so much that they have to wall the poor folk out. Call Mazargo amused.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. The slaves are not feared at all by the regulators who watch over them.
Oh, don't tell Mazargo about those regulators. He knows all too well what these Kivalids do.
Yes. Hence why I preferred the guards more.
Wait, Mazargo is confused. There are guards and regulators.
Yes. And even more. In the capital, there are mercenaries and the Dragon Guard as well. All of them controlled by Oriana Cathal.
Why are you referring to the Fang by her first name? You are not from Valleyguard, are you? No one in Anequina harbors any love for your kind, spy. May Elkosh guide Mazargo's claws.
Saint Senyena, protect me!
The Beyond Skyrim Elsewhere team is thrilled to see you all here at 2023 ModCon. So far, we have shown you shots of specific parts of the town. Now, we want to focus further on the differences between Valley Guard as it was, and how it now looks. We'll also showcase in more detail the area between Border Watch and Valley Guard, which is a town just on the border with Elsewhere and the Rim, a political entity in Elsewhere, with its capital being Rimmen. We've made significant progress in this area this year. Of course, the areas in this footage will undergo some changes as we finalize assets, and there will be adjustments to the level design before this area is finalized. You can see from the montage that the area has changed quite drastically since our last showcase. Level design consistency is important. The area near Border Watch and Cyrodiil has been extended, with the stream connecting seamlessly, continuing uphill with the waterfalls coming out from the town above. Though we've stated that verticality is important for our team, because of our smaller land size to work with, in this specific case, this area has not been made to be as easily traversable because it is on the border with Cyrodiil, and the fact that Elsewhere finds itself on higher ground than Cyrodiil, especially around the Rim area. As you might have gathered from the in-character dialogue, the town's position is strategically important to the Rim. The layout of the town reflects that, with it being surrounded by massive walls, and it having 2 gates. One of them protects them from Cyrodiil, and the other from the Simasil Steppes, and further to Elsewhere. All of the assets made so far will be reusable in other places in the larger mod. The town itself deals with Rimini's culture and religion, as well as their economics and living on a fortified frontier. There will be nobles, soldiers, and regular folk to meet. Valley Guard has experienced progress in every department, with more to do to bring the location fully to life. This town is just another step towards our pre-release. We thank every fan who's been a part of this journey with us since the beginning. We hope to see you with more progress next year.
The Arcane University can give you the skills to contribute to exciting mod projects, with classes in game writing, level design, voice acting, 3D art, concept art, implementation, animation, and sound design. You can also take part in student projects like Hestra's Nest and the recently released Hearthstone Isles. Join us at discord.gg/arcaneuniversity and learn the magic of modding. Arcane Impact back again with UCM, and it's great to see the progress Beyond Skyrim has made and elsewhere over the last year. But where are we heading next?
Well, we follow a song on the wind to the westernmost regions of Tamriel, to the former home of the Druids of Galen and the infamous Left-Handed Elves.
That's right, those magical isles hold many a mystery. So let's make sail and explore the magnificence of the Sistress.
The 15th of mid-year, 4th era, year 201. Legate Leyland Sitra, personal logs. The men mustn't know it, but the general has become all too desperate. Everyone knows the ships have become too few, and nobody can tell you why. General Salius suspects the mainland embargoes have made smuggling too difficult. I've consulted with the merchants, and there's little to be done from our end. Of course there wouldn't be. Hadrian thinks the Fisher Guard have begun to line their pockets too generously. But that's the talk of embittered nobles. Hadrian doesn't have his ear to the ground like I have. No, it's nothing so dramatic. But all the same, nothing for the commoner's ear, or their gossip. Salius has us leave in the dead of night. All the better, I say. Keeps the blessed sun off our backs. My men and I have been forced into near highway robbery, trying to haggle with the nomads and madmen out in the flats. Ha! Some great sacred high ground indeed. The reflected men have taken harshly to our presence here. I could have told Salius as much. I can feel their diseased little eyes watching us. Lots of eyes out here, not just them. Makes the man jumpy. All thinks each growth, each tube-worm is one of them. Some eye looking out from the salt, telling all it sees to this or that shadow. Times like this, I'm sure I'm surrounded by fools. Children and fools. They can all think what they like. All of them. These men are under my command. Not Elder, or Hadrian, or even Salius. Me. And I'll return them to Sandmoth Port with our mission completed. I may well burn this page once I'm there. The Empire is law. The law is sacred. In the names of Remen, of Archay, of Illyrian, of Morahouse. Shield my path from open eyes.
Ahoy, Captain Stu and Kairos have returned, still swooning over the majesty of Sistress and all the incredible projects we've seen already today.
And we're only at the halfway point, as we rejoin the Beyond Skyrim team with arguably the team's flagship project.
Join us as we head to the seat of the Empire and home of emperors and heroes alike, with Beyond Skyrim's Cyrodiil.
Hi, I'm Todd Howard of Bethesda Softworks, and welcome to our demo of The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. The key to each Elder Scrolls title is reinvention. We actually start over each time. So with Oblivion, we wanted to start fresh. We wanted to create for a whole new generation a game that captures those things that excite people about role-playing in the first place.
Yes. Hang on a second there, Tom. Could we rewind that? That is such a good idea for this showcase. Welcome back to Cyrodiil, everybody! Or should I say, welcome forward? It's been over 2 centuries since the Oblivion Crisis, after all. We all know how much can change in a year, but what about 200 years? Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait! Where are we going? Oh. Only to a place that Todd Howard would never think to find us. Hey everybody, this is Diegler, lead editor for Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil, and today we're going to be using the Elder Scrolls to go on a journey through time. Such a beautiful sight, isn't it? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't always. Whenever we design a larger location, like such, we always start with the concept art. Concept art takes an idea and it makes it real for the rest of the team. It really helps to get everyone on the same page and share the same vision. Then our 3D and landscaping teams start working on actually putting that art into the game. Tailored exteriors and 3D assets really help to bring out the character of a location. And of course, our writing team continues to work on the location's lore, characters, themes, and stories all throughout. So, what do we really know about Such? Well, for some real-world context, Such is a city that was cut from the development of Oblivion. It was meant to be in the game, but for some reason, most likely budget-related, the city was cut and turned into a ruin. There's no clear lore reason for this, so we're left to speculate on why it's during the events of Oblivion. In our own lore, about 100 years after the Oblivion Crisis, some dude named Pavian Mead became emperor, and he was something of a military kind of a guy. He thought it would be a pretty cool idea to rebuild Fort Such, given that it's in a good spot to help spank naughty pirates and keep an eye on those sussy red guards over the border. I could probably talk about the real-world lore of Such and our project's workflow all day, but I think you get the idea. Instead, we're gonna be jumping straight into gameplay. That's right, we've got some juicy content coming your way. It's time for Such. We are going to have such a good time in this showcase. Oh yeah, you can definitely expect the Such puns to continue. It's not up to me, guys, okay? We have a quota, and we need to fill it. Anyway, I guess we could talk a little bit about some of the stuff you're seeing here. So, Such is really more of a fort than a city, but right now we're in more of the city part. If you live in this part of Such, you're either a high-ranking officer in the Legion, or you're related to someone who is. If you're not in the Legion, you'd probably have to pick up a hobby to help kill some time. Like drinking in the Mike Mended Tavern. Oh yeah, this is my kind of crowd.
For the love of Malacath, no dancing on the tables,
I just don't know what
please.
to do, Brazier. I know he knows it's insane, but he still insists on going through with it. And to think, if it weren't for my job, I would never have even known about this so-called initiation.
So I can't say I'm shocked to be hearing about this. The 19th just, well, their standards are extreme.
Extreme. They're going to kill my brother. That's not extreme, that's murder.
Oh, right. The 19th Legion is stationed here in such. The best of the best, so I'm told. Kind of a no-nonsense type of crowd. They probably wouldn't appreciate my puns very much.
Such is a fort first and a town second, so mind your behavior while you're around. Being an engineer for this fort isn't easy. There's enough work for twice as many of us. Oh, you overheard that? Sigh well. Yes, I believe he is. Look, I'm not supposed to know what goes on over at the 19th Legion camp, and I'm definitely not supposed to share that information. But right now, I don't really care to. My brother recently enlisted with them, and they're just treating him terribly. This is supposed to be one of the finest legions in the Empire, not some group of boys pretending to be soldiers. It's an embarrassment to the Legion, and more importantly, it's going to get my brother killed. From what I heard, Pretyus is expected to go out at night, naked, and try to wrestle a pack of wolves. If that's true, it's pure insanity. Anyone who enlists and gets assigned to the 19th Legion has to go through initiation. For the most part, it's just a test of loyalty to the Empire, and sometimes it's a reason for the soldiers here to blow off steam by pulling pranks. But they've taken it too far. I've heard so many horrifying stories of their initiations. They need to be put to a stop. Can you help? Well, maybe. I've tried talking to Pretyus, my brother, but he won't listen to me. Maybe he'll listen to you. If you were able to talk some sense into him, I would absolutely be in your debt. Why you will? I didn't really think Stray would. Scoff. Well, best of luck, I suppose. If you really can convince him otherwise, I'll be sure to make it worth your while.
Ah, well. Boys will be boys, won't they? Just a little bit of naked roughhousing in a wolf den. What's not to love? We could tell her to just mind her own business, but she's not being completely unreasonable. Alright, I guess we should head out to the camp and go talk to her brother. The camp is just outside the walls of Such, so while we go on a little stroll there, I'd like to take this time to thank our viewers for joining us today. Without you, life would have no meaning. Let's also take this moment to shine some warm light on the beautiful lands surrounding Such. The Gold Coast. Such a change from the cold and bleak lands of Skyrim, isn't it? Yes, this region of Cyrodiil truly lives up to its name. The change in weather and landscape from Skyrim to Cyrodiil actually informs a lot of our design of surrounding settlements and farms, and the culture of those who live there. And given its proximity to Cyrodiil's borders, Such isn't the only place in the Gold Coast where you'll find these kinds of Legion settlements.
Come on, look back. What's the point of giving you a hammer if you're too weak to lift it?
I've been swinging this thing around for an hour already, sir. I just need a short break.
A short break? Are the Night Elves going to give you a short break when the time comes?
Here, let me show you how it's done. You just step up behind them and... here.
That's what happens when you stand still too long. Look back. I expect you will have mastered that maneuver by down tomorrow. Keep swinging.
Done.
And this must be Thamus's brother. Let's see if we can't talk some sense into him. Seems like a stand-up fellow.
Are you supposed to be here? This camp is meant for the 19th Legion only. My initiation. Where did you? Oh, my sister. Look, I made choice to enlist in the 19th Legion. It is my sworn duty to do whatever it takes to honor that commitment. So I should even be telling you this, but I imagine my sister already filled your head with something much worse. I have to survive a night outside of a wolf den. But if I can't survive a night near a few wolves, what kind of an elite soldier am I? What? And no. Why in oblivion would I go naked? If I die for the 19th, then that would be the most honorable death I could hope for. Nice try, but no. Seems like the wilds are getting more dangerous by the day. Stay safe up there.
I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed he doesn't have to be naked.
May your armor keep you standing, and may your weapons stand power. If you're hoping to enter Fort Such, you should come back another time. They've locked down the fort since the attempt on the vault. Have you now? Well, I'm not sure what you're employing, but I personally oversee the training of every soldier within the 19th Legion. If you have a problem with the way I handle the training of my soldiers, you can bring it up with General Detchen.
Talk to you later.
It's a really good thing that Legane isn't a legate. His nickname would be Leg Leg, or Leggy Legane. I feel like it's worth mentioning as a quick disclaimer that while such may seem complete in some regards, there is still much work to be done. Writing is still being reviewed by editing, implementation is still getting edited content in-game, and QA is still checking the work of everyone who comes before them. What you're seeing now is really just a taste of what we have planned for such. Be not deceived by her golden hues. We could just go straight back to Thamus, but Leg mentioned that we should take it up with the General if we don't like how the soldiers are being trained. Could be interesting to hear what she has to say about all this. Let's pay her a visit. This is the actual fort part of such. Seems pretty cool. Pretty high up, you know, good view. Our level designers really are some of the best in the business. They paid me to say that.
Hello.
Anyway, the General should be somewhere inside.
Can I help you?
Perhaps by your standards. The standards for the 19th Legion exist on a level beyond which most can attain, let alone understand. I trust that Legate Icaria is keeping everyone in line.
Until next time.
Alright, well, Legate Icaria is back at the camp where we just came from. It's probably best to just let it be before we get sucked into another game of upper management ping pong. Doesn't seem like anyone's really apprised of the situation anyway. We've run out of time in our showcase today, so we're not going to be able to see the consequences, good or bad, that result from the decisions we've made here. Todd said it best back in the Oblivion showcase of E3 2005. The key to each Elder Scrolls title is reinvention. And that's what we shoot for with projects like such. That's what we shoot for on the Beyond Skyrim project in general. If we're going to fully reimagine in a completely different day and age, 200 years after the Oblivion Crisis, we're going to need all the help we can get. We need people who want to collaborate, who want to support, and who want to learn. Dip your feet into learning how to mod for Skyrim by joining the Arcane University Discord server, or apply directly to our project through our website at beyondskyrim.org/Cyrodiil. That's beyondskyrim.org/Cyrodiil. While we continue to flesh out a reimagined Cyrodiil filled with never-before-visited locations like such, we at Beyond Skyrim Cyrodiil only have one question left for Todd. Who's laughing now?
Now, from the newly forged Heartlands to something close to my heart, UCM here, back with Arcane Impact, and after our look into the shiny new lands of Cyrodiil, wouldn't it be nice to go back to a time and place more familiar?
I think I know what you mean. Somewhere everybody knows your name, especially if your name is Enwa.
Oh, you know me so well. Anyway, let's take a look at what we have been up to in the last year with the Skywind team. Don't forget, if you have any questions about any of today's presentations, the Day 1 Q&A will follow immediately after this majestic look at Skywind.
Perfect.
Skywind should now be live.
Excellent.
Hello everyone. Howdy to the fine people.
Yeah, hey, howdy and hello to chat, and welcome to the ModCon 2023 Skywind panel. We're all really happy to have this opportunity to hang out with you and show some stuff that's been going on with the Skywind. This year, your host will be UCM, our beloved Master of Ceremonies and Level Designer.
Howdy.
And of course, we also have our famous Twitch star and builder of cities, Zix, our 3D and Navmesh lead.
Hello.
And last but certainly not least, we have our beloved concept art lead, Dal Saifadias.
Guten Abend.
And you know, I guess I should have not said last but not least, because now I'm last but not least. Hi, I'm Argyle. I'm a writer and voice actor on the Skywind team, and yeah, super pumped to be here with you all. So this year, we couldn't exactly decide on what to show you, so we thought, why not maximize it and just kind of give a big comprehensive view as to what we've been up to, both past and present. So we're letting fate take a spin. We are very proud to introduce to you all, drum roll please, the wheel!
The wheel.
The wheel.
The wheel.
Well, shall we spin it?
Absolutely. Waste no time on
Let's do it.
introductions. We have the wheel.
And first
wait.
up, we'll be going
Oh.
to the Graysland.
All right.
Beautiful. I want everyone to understand the Gracelands are very work in progress. This is the first time we're showing them publicly. We can't show terribly much yet because we're still missing the one overworld tile set, which is the Dunmer Strongholds, and they are in the middle of the Graceland, as you might remember. But we still want to show you what our level designers have done in the past months, and I think it already looks absolutely gorgeous with the tower overlooking this beautiful waterfall over here.
I want to go kayaking here.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
We need
beautiful.
a boat.
You telling me you want to go over those rapids with a kayak?
I want to watch other people go kayaking here.
Oh, okay.
Also, you can see one of our new creatures here in quotations. I'm pretty sure we didn't show this off yet at any ModCon, so this is our Quama Forager.
And I'm a
Little
killer.
curious guy.
And if you're wondering what's going on with it, as we said, this region is like super in progress. I know that this part looks really awesome, but it is actively being developed, so there is no nav mesh right now. So the AI doesn't know what is traversable terrain or not, so little friends like the Quama Forager, they kind of do a little twitchy dance for you, but they do work. It's all going well. It's just part of progress.
I like that you call them little friends.
Well, aren't they? Not quite scribs, but they're pretty close.
The littlest scrib.
Close enough.
Yeah, so this is the world premiere of the Grayslands.
A very, very work in progress one, but I still hope you like what you see.
Oh, I
You know,
do.
it's nice to show that Morrowind isn't all ash and dust and misery. People definitely forget when talking about this game that there is this great lush region up to the, I believe it's northeast. Don't destroy me if I can't handle
Yes.
simple cardinal directions.
Yes, it is.
Get Shiver, we have scripts. I'm pretty sure we have our scripts in game,
Not
right?
just yet. Not just yet.
What? What, we have it in 3D. Okay, we have it in 3D. Also, yeah, we're live. Hello, chat. It's good to be back with you guys.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah. Shall
yeah.
we spin the wheel once more?
Spin the wheel.
It is
Spin
time
the wheel.
to spin.
Say it, chat. Spin the wheel.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Also, I hope you guys can see some very exciting items that are on the wheel that may or may not
come
get
up,
chosen.
We're showing off all the
Hey.
cool stuff right out of the gate.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice. We got a really
Yeah.
cool one. So the Imperial Forts are something that I've been working on for the past probably since April in 3D. I'm pretty happy to say that at this point, level designers and landscapers both have finally gotten their hands on the assets that I've been working on for so long, with completed textures, with completed collision, all that fun stuff. And this one is Fort Pelagiad. Here is one example where you can see already guards are hanging around. They're in their Imperial steel armor, which was faithfully recreated from Morrowind.
They're very,
Okay.
very actively on duty in their beautiful Skyrim steel armor. Okay.
Can we get a close up on one of the guard armors? Like Zix was
Sure.
saying, he just finished implementing this armor, so we're really also excited to show that off. It's very classic Morrowind.
Yeah.
There also will be a skirted version. So they had these long. Some of them had long coats in Morrowind, which we will also have. They are just not implemented yet.
One thing it's also important to note real quick that I think the nav mesh here is a little touchy, so you might see some guards doing some weird stuff in this area. This fort
Like the one that was walking into the stables that I ducked out of so that we wouldn't draw attention
Nav mesh
to
is
it.
always the perfect excuse, right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Nix, just because this is the second time it's coming up, could you explain what nav mesh is in one sentence?
Yeah, so nav mesh is essentially, as the name implies, a navigational mesh that you slap down in the engine, and it's like a carpet that tells you where NPCs can walk and where they can't walk.
You guys ready to get dizzy?
Oh yeah,
Make me
let's spin the stairs.
Okay.
In the stairs. The wheel
I'm
is
here
already
for it.
over. We're moved on to the stairs.
Oh no, I think I've gotten lost
it's
again.
It's such a cool win to finally have these forts in game. I mean, they're like a major part of the setting, and a lot of hard work went into making them a reality. And it's just one of those things where it's like you see it, and it just feels like such great progress. It's just a huge part of Morrowind restored for our project.
Also, I love that we kept it disorientating enough that UCM
That
didn't
I
find
got
it.
lost.
Yeah.
I thought both stairs went up to the same level. I realized they didn't. Here we are in the Imperial Chapel.
Yeah, we have
Legion
custom
Chapel.
tapestries for every of the 9 gods, which are 9 of and not a single one less.
I don't want to hear.
In the
any
chat,
elf lovers.
Ansert asked, "Will we see Vivek?" Only if fate allows it, and the
Yeah, if
wheel
fate allows
grants
us,
it so.
we will see
So-
either Vivek the city or both. Who knows?
Yeah, we have Vivek the city and Vivek the dude on the wheel. So pray to the wheel for mercy.
Yeah.
Speaking of the
For favor.
wheel,
Risky stuff on
Shall
that.
we head back
perhaps
to the
spin
wheel?
the wheel?
The wheel.
Yes.
The wheel.
The wheel.
And we
Spin
are
it.
hiding, we are removing choices once they've been selected, so there is a better chance that we will get to see Vivek the dude.
Oh boy, it's Bitter Coast. We're going to show off one of the towns in Bitter Coast. This is Narmak. The Bitter Coast is one of the first areas that kind of had, I want to say like an asset complete list, I suppose. Like it's feature complete, so to speak. So this area looks really, really nice. It has nav mesh placed down. It has some schedules going on. I know that there's there's an NPC we want to talk to in here that has voice acting and schedules, and yeah, hopefully we find him.
No, he's right here.
Oh,
He's right
right.
here. It's not a weekend, so he didn't go to Balmora.
Questions? Gajit is listening. There's a lot of money to be made looting the dwarven ruins. Against the law, yes. But where there is a profit to be made, folks turn a blind eye. One problem, the artifacts are often made of metal and heavy as hell. Unless you are a big brute. It's tough to carry away all the loot. Me? I carry a divine event or an Alm City Dimension scroll. Load up, read the scroll, and I'm back in town with a load of goods.
That is good voice acting.
Also, to everyone who says the wheel is rigged, this is not. It is
How
actually
rigged
fate.
dare
It is-
you
How dare you? No, this is actually.
besmirch the wheel?
Yeah. How dare you tempting fate? No, you never get evicted, dude, because you heathens talk slack on the wheel. I can't believe it.
You doubted.
It is worth noting.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was going to say it
please.
is worth noting. We did a quick little test run before, and we hadn't removed anything from the wheel. First thing that came up was the rarest one on there. So,
The dude.
I'll up the chance.
I also just want to say